Hello friends, today I will be talking about chapter 2, teaching all students. And it was a really interesting chapter that I really enjoy reading. And what I'm gonna talk is about the principles for teaching emotionally disadvantaged students. Children who are raised in poverty have fewer opportunities to learn. They read less access to libraries, technology, museum, tutoring, and other educational opportunities. Children who live in poverty tend to think that they don't have hope. That is why it's important to build on, on a one-on-one relationship with students. When students feel encouraged, they feel motivated and can increase their effort and work harder to please the teacher. I put a little this little picture because it talks about the ways in which we can build this relationship with teachers and how teachers can encourage students to continue learning and have goals in their learning. Development skills of emotionally disadvantaged students. It's important for us to provide a safe, caring environment where students can develop the behavior they need to be successful in school. This can be done by giving students responsibilities, student choices, having them take part in a project or culture team and making decisions. Also, it's important to build a background vocabulary and not just assume that children don't know. Instead of doing that, it's important for us to build the vocabulary that goes along with them. By creating an atmosphere of success, it motivates students to pursue their goals. It's important that teachers establish challenging goals but convince students that goals are both desirable and reachable. It's important to encourage and celebrate student success by bringing role models to inspire them. For example, as teachers, we can bring like nurses, firemen, policemen, and even teachers to talk to the students about how they overcome different challenges in order for them to become the person they are. These will motivate students to look at them like role models. I want to be like them, and it will inspire them to continue working on their goals and not just say, because not just think because they have fewer opportunities, they cannot become who they want to be. They have to like think positive, and that by working hard and having the encouragement and the different relationship with teachers, they can overcome their obstacles and become someone they wish to be when they grow up. It's important to make instruction explicit and direct so the students can understand it, because sometimes at home they don't have someone to help them. So what I mean by this is that when we teach students that live in poverty or are disadvantaged in learning, we have to instruct them step by step in order for them to make the project on their own, because sometimes at home, their parents, I could say, they're have two jobs working and they don't have time to sit with their student and help them. Sometimes they don't speak the same language, or I mean the English language, or they don't even know how to read. So it's important for us to provide step by step and also ask students if they understand what they're supposed to do in order for them to take it home and do it in their own, because sometimes students don't do their homework or projects because, for one, they don't have the resources, they don't have the help at home, or they just feel lost that they didn't understand what was the purpose or what they needed to do. Also, it's important to provide a balanced program, higher levels as well as basic skills. These skills should be taught with plenty of opportunities to apply them to higher quality reading and materials and real life. As teachers, we have to provide children who live in poverty or who are in disadvantage, different resources such as magazine, books, and other reading materials in order for them to be engaged in reading and to learn how to read and all that. Is because reading and having different resources to read is a strong predictor of reading achievement and then socioeconomic status. Also, the quote that I like was that poverty is and of itself does not mean that children cannot and will not be successful in school. I like it because I kind of see it like, not because you're living in poverty doesn't mean that you can't be successful. Cannot be successful. In my point of view, if I live in poverty and feel disadvantaged, I will try to do my best and work hard in order for me to change my living circumstances. And I will want to have the teachers' help and resources in order for me to learn as much as can, so I can become the person I want to be in order for me to get out of poverty. That's the way I see it, and I think that's how students should view it, that the education should be the one that gets you out of poverty, I think. So one of the questions that I have, and I would like to continue to learn more about, is slow learners. Is how can we as teachers help slow learners, as Jesus says, when we have students at different levels and make sure that they are obtaining the resources and help necessary. If they have special needs but are denied special services. So in the book it says that slow learners were denied special services. So how can we make sure as teachers that they get the resources necessary, or what can we do as teachers to help them get where they need to be without leaving them behind while we're teaching? Should slow learners be put in a different classroom so the teachers can focus on helping them achieve their goals, and so students can feel they are getting the attention they deserve? That's one of the questions that I have, because I know when we're in a classroom, we have a variety of students at different learning levels. So I know that through repetition and giving them more time, and repeating the task and all that, we can help them. But sometimes there's a lot to do during their classroom that I kind of feel that I want to include everyone. But if the slow learners are really low, I think they should have like a special classes or special programs where they can do after programs and stay and obtain the help necessary. That's what I would like to learn more about learners, how to provide them with different resources if they're denied special services. Another thing that I like, it was a multicultural responsive approach to teaching of students. Culturally responsive approach to teaching, it is essential for teachers to become acquainted with the children's culture, especially if the teacher's background is different from those of the children they teach. But these teachers can do home visits and discussion with children, and also even ask other teachers to help them learn about the student in order for teachers to make instruction applicable and adjustable to the different learning styles the students have. It's important for us to understand students' cultural background that can lead to more effective teaching. Teaching needs to be more collaborative You must ask children how they construct meaning so that you can gain insight into their process. One must try a variety of approaches to teaching and organizing the classroom to learn which ones will work best. Give choices to students to determine the kinds of activities they prefer. One of the things I learned in the book was that it's important for teachers to learn a little bit of the home language the student have, or even ask co-teachers about simple phrases they can use, and this way students can see that the teacher is making the effort to learn about their language, so they can work together and help each other, and see that the teacher is helping them and trying their best to accommodate their learning experience and feel like she can make a difference in the child's life. Students appreciate who they are. I think it's important as teachers to appreciate each child for who they are, and not to try to change it. One of the quotes I like, you guys will find it, it's on page 15. All students should learn the shared rules of standard English, but not in ways that tread on their heritage. All students should be treated equally and appreciated with whom they are, and as teachers, we should learn about the cognitive, cultural literacy and linguistic backgrounds of the students and use that knowledge to plan instruction. The diversity students bring to the classroom should be valued and built on. Higher expectations for every child, for all students. So what I mean by that is that we should always have higher expectations for students, no matter their learning level. We should always encourage students and help them get to the level we want them to be by providing them the different resources and help necessary for them to be successful, and not just think, oh, they can't do it. Instead, let's encourage them and tell them, yes, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it, and do your best. And we're here to help you achieve your goals. It was an interesting chapter, and I hope you enjoy this presentation. Thank you.